Hello and welcome. We start with the latest updates from the DRC and Rwanda, the neighboring African nations locked in a years-long conflict. The much-anticipated direct talks between the DRC and the Rwanda-backed M23 group, which has waged insurgency in the DRC's east, have once again hit a roadblock. The M23 group has pulled out of the peace talks, scheduled to take place today in Angola's capital of Luanda. The M23 snub comes just after the European Union announced sanctions on several of its top commanders. The rebel group claims that these sanctions undermine direct dialogue and prevent any meaningful progress. Since January, the M23 has captured the provincial capitals of Goma and Bukavu in the DRC's resource-rich east. Now, according to the DRC authorities, the renewed clashes have killed over 7,000 people. And its withdrawal from these talks, the rebel group accused Kinshasa of waging a bellicose campaign against it. But the Democratic Republic of Congo government has confirmed it will still participate despite the M23's no-show. Now, this is not the first time that talks have fallen apart. The DRC President Felix Tshisekedi and Rwandan President Paul Kagame were expected to meet in Luanda last December for direct negotiations. However, disagreements over the terms of engagement led to a last-minute cancellation. Since then, the M23 offensive has intensified, with a rapid and strategic advance across the eastern DRC. Kinshasa continues to accuse Rwanda of backing the M23 rebels and using them to loot Congo's vast mineral wealth. The United Nations estimates that up to 4,000 Rwandan troops are operating inside the eastern DRC. However, Rwanda has neither confirmed nor denied troops' presence in the DRC. In the latest, it has cut diplomatic ties with its former colonizer, Belgium. Kigali accuses Brussels of taking sides in the conflict and consistently undermining Rwanda's position. All Belgian diplomats have been ordered to leave Rwandan territory. Now, President Kagame has also issued a warning to Belgium against interfering in Rwanda's internal affairs.
Rwanda's concern is that we were colonized by a small country, similar in size to Rwanda itself, and they wanted to divide us because of that. I mean Belgium. I want to give them a warning. Belgium has caused significant harm to Rwanda even in history, 30 years ago, and they continue to follow and interfere with us. We warned them before, and we are prepared to warn them again.
Belgium responded swiftly, calling Rwanda's actions disproportionate. Brussels has vowed to retaliate by expelling Rwandan diplomats from Belgium. This diplomatic tit-for-tat marks a sharp deterioration in relations and raises fears of wider escalation. Belgium is the former colonial power in both the DRC and Rwanda. It has been a leading voice in the EU, pushing for a suspension of raw material trade agreements with Rwanda. Meanwhile, Rwanda faces growing international pressure to withdraw its alleged support for the M23 rebels. The UK and Germany have announced aid cuts, and while the US and Canada have imposed sanctions. Despite the mounting global backlash, Kigali remains defiant. Will its hardline stance and the M23's latest peace talk boycott plunge the DRC into even deeper crisis? We will continue our coverage of the DRC crisis.
Do you think that Ukraine is at its weakest position?
This war is not about Ukraine.
Do you believe that your president was insulted? Yes or no question? Is Ukraine prepared to pay the price for that peace?
No compromises at the cost of territorial integrity and sovereignty.
Diplomacy will work?
Yes,
Do you
it
think
will.
Russia will give up the territory if there is no ceasefire? Do you propose to keep fighting?
We are ready to resist.
Do you think there will be peace?
Many countries gave us 3 days.
President Trump said you don't have any cards.
We do not have another choice.
How do you keep fighting?
You ask me once again the same question.
Because you've not answered my question.
We have enough capacities to keep fighting.